Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Wednesday morning. It is now the 10th day of July, 2024. This is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office. And as I look out the window of the home weather office, it is a sunny and comfortable morning. And while temperatures stayed below 100 degrees in most areas yesterday, ending the heat wave, we're going to get right back into it today as another stretch of 4, maybe 5 days will go above 100 degrees. So while this morning is comfortable, this afternoon is going to be quite hot. I want to touch on that just a little bit for a little bit of perspective. And this is what I want to start off with this morning. These are the temperatures for downtown Sacramento City. So this is an executive airport. This is in Sac International. This is the downtown location, which usually runs as one of the warmer spots. But we always use this because this is where we have the longest stretch of records. We've got records going back to the 1850s and relatively reliable records going back to around 1870. So these are the daytime highs and these are the overnight lows. So here is the heat wave. Now keep in mind the last day of June was also 100 degrees. So that's our 9-day heat wave. And then yesterday it ended with that high of 98 and a low of 61. The thing I want to point out here is a couple of the averages that we're looking at right now. The average high so far this month has been 106. The record for that goes back to 1988, when the average high was 99.6. So we're running well ahead of that. And also the average monthly right now is 87.9. So that's when you factor in the highs and the lows. Comes in at roughly 88 degrees. The record for that, the hottest month we've ever seen, was only 81.7, I believe. So we are running well ahead of pace to be the hottest month ever, because July is our hottest month. And if we have the hottest July, that'll be the hottest month we've ever seen. Now, keep in mind, this is a small sample size. I get that. We've only seen 9 days, and you can look at any 9-day stretch. I mean, I could take a 10-day stretch in 2006, and it would be hotter than this. But with another few days of heat coming up, and some of those days having the potential to be up around 110, these temperatures are going to stay up, so that average is going to stay up through the middle part of the month. And you would need daytime highs to stay in the range of, maybe 85 to 88 to really start making a significant dent in this average. Now, the average will come down. It'll get closer to the mean. But this is a number that we should keep an eye on as we go through the rest of this month. Because right now, we do have the potential to have the hottest July on record. And that's just not a statistical thing to keep an eye on. It's also something to keep an eye on because, when we get our AC bill for the end of July, if it comes in really high, there's a good reason for that. All right, let's get into what is going on this morning and what's going to happen over the next couple of days. So let's get back to satellite. I'm recording relatively early this morning at around 7:15, so you don't have a really good satellite, but we do have solid marine layer here on the coast, as well as some thin smoke. The Royal Fire didn't put up much smoke yesterday. It looks like there's some wisps of smoke coming off that. And then the Shelley Fire to the north continues to put up a lot of smoke. And this just continues to kind of creep along. It's not exploding in size, but it's just kind of creeping along and doing its thing. And we will continue with winds out of the south aloft over the next couple of days. And that will help to keep the smoke generally out of our area. And if you do see it, it may be somewhat elevated. I saw some of that yesterday. You see the smoke up around, 15, 20,000 feet or wherever it may be. So it's not really impacting air quality for those of us that like to breathe clean air. So let me show you what's happening here with the big picture here, the 500 millibar chart. And here is that southwesterly wind to help keep some of that smoke off to our north. Now this is up around 18,000 feet. So once again, we have the big high nudging in and not enough southwesterly flow. So that's why today we'll see temperatures warm around 8 degrees over what we saw yesterday. So yesterday's high was 98. Today we're looking at something 106, 108. I think downtown Sacramento might be as high as 108. Other areas a little bit lower than that. Now, even though we have this little low coming up the coast as we head into Thursday and Friday, I don't think it's going to be enough to give us an onshore breeze. Instead, it looks like it's going to be more of a south wind aloft, or maybe even a southeasterly wind, the sort of thing we see with the monsoon. This would be a great monsoon pattern, but I don't think there's going to be enough moisture in that to give us anything in the way of a monsoonal flow. But what we will see is as that low goes by, and as we get into next week, we're going to see the high finally get shifted back toward Colorado, and that will allow troughiness to come in. Even though it's not the greatest troughiness, that would be good enough to keep our highs back down into that range of, maybe 95 to 98. And then beyond that, as we get into the following week, we're getting wishful here, looking out 2 weeks in advance, that we are going to see maybe a trough come our way that then may be able to keep our highs around 88 to 92 or something like that. But, that's well out. Let's see, what day is this up to? This is Monday, the 22nd. So this is out, 10 days or more. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if we can get some cooler weather in here and maybe give us a break on our AC bills. But in the meantime, the short range does call for not much of an onshore breeze. That's why we're going to be seeing the temperatures go up today and tomorrow. This is the wind this morning, a light onshore breeze, but still we have a comfortable morning. Interesting thing about this morning, I was looking at the 7 a.m. roundup of temperatures. Auburn was at 75, while Fairfield was at 58. And most valley spots are around 60 to 65. But Auburn coming in at 75. Many of you in the foothills that live up on some of the ridge tops know just how warm the mornings have been. Then as we go through the afternoon, the winds stay flat. So this is mid-afternoon, hardly anything in the way of a breeze. So no breeze, and probably a marine layer that's getting squashed will mean a hot afternoon with temperatures at or above 100. There will be a light onshore breeze tonight, but again, there probably won't be much push on it, but probably enough that we'll see overnight lows drop down in the valley anyway to 65 to 68 range. And then into the day Thursday, this is Thursday afternoon, there is just very little in the way of a breeze stirring, a little bit more in the way of an east wind on the, a west wind on the east side of the Sierra. And then even into the day Friday, this is Friday morning, just very, very little breeze. So that's why the next few days are going to be seeing temperatures go up to around 100. And for that, let's go over to the HRRR and see what the HRRR has to say about the temperatures today. Not a bad morning today, but this is around noontime, and up and down the valley, temperatures are in the low 90s. So that's just a little bit ahead of yesterday's pace, but it's really once we get into that 4 or 5 o'clock time frame that temperatures around Sacramento will be up around 105, 107, 108, something like that. The north end of the valley, 109, 110, something like that. And even the lower foothills will be up around 100, 102, 104. Tonight, it should cool off once again. So early tomorrow morning, temperatures briefly in the upper 60s. But the foothills will stay with overnight lows in the 70s for the most part. I think it's going to be very warm overnight tonight in the foothills. And then tomorrow, this is tomorrow afternoon. So Thursday, the model's spitting out some 110, 112-ish. I think 110, 112 is probably a good range. Some of the models spitting out higher numbers, but I think 110 to 112 seems about right. And then Friday, this model doesn't go out far enough, but Friday would be slightly lower. So as we go through the next couple of days, it looks as though tomorrow, Thursday, is probably going to be the hottest with that 110, 112, with Friday just a little bit behind that. And then once we get into the weekend, the temperatures will come down, although Saturday may still be above 100 degrees. And it looks as though next week should be a little bit more reasonable. So one heat wave ended with the 98 yesterday. Another one starts today with temperatures going above 100. So that's what I've got for you this morning. Yeah, it's going to be a hot afternoon. Try to make the best of it. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.